It's high noon.
Alright, so today we're building and painting up some Ogryn for my Imperial Guard army. The model kit's pretty solid, easy. Actually, one of the easier kits that I've ever encountered. They come out in alphabetical order, so it's like all the parts for Model A, all the parts for Model B. In the kit, you can build either Ogryns or Bullgryns with it. I went with Ogryns. I feel like Ogryns, especially here in 10th edition, are vastly better than the Bullgryns, but the model kit super easy. It's all lettered, so it's kind of like building a piece of IKEA furniture, which I find it pretty simple universally, and these guys I also thought were pretty simple to build. So let's take a look what they look like when I get a paint. So these are my finished Ogryn here that I've got. I went with a pretty much a black with the Zenithal kind of slap choppy kind of look. I guess it's all kind of similar. Almost nothing but speed paint 2.0s here. Went with the broadsword silver for the weapons, the peachy flesh for the actual skin tones. I think I went with the ghillie dew for the shirt on this guy, and then I did the bony matter for the pants, and that was pretty much it. I think I did the bullets in the Talos bronze that they have for the speed paint 2.0, but universally, man, I thought they came out pretty good. The guy on the far right is the Nork Dead Dog model. I painted him a while back, but I kind of figured I'd throw him in here with this one just so you see what they look like as a squad. Alright, so let's take a look at the data sheet for the Ogryn Squad. Their stat line, pretty solid overall. Movement 6, the absolute monster toughness of 6, 5+ save, 3 wounds, leadership 7, which is pretty standard, and a OC of 1, which is meh, but they're just a normal squad of dudes. So overall, they're really tough to take down. The 3 wounds is nice, makes them kind of Terminator-like as far as their wounds are concerned. That toughness 6 means you're going to have to hit them with something more than just your standard bolt guns, whatever your standard range weapon is. Odds are you're going to need to hit them a little bit harder than that. Their ranged attack is really what makes this squad. You'd think with Ogryns that they'd be more of a melee group, but that's more the Bullgryn Squad. Ogryn Squad here is your more ranged combat. They have their Ripper Gun, which is a rapid fire 3 at range 18. 3 attacks, Ballistic Skill 4, which is mediocre. Strength 5, AP -1, 2 damage, so it's pretty much a heavy bolter with an 18-inch range and it's rapid fire. So these guys, you get close to them, they are going to just murder the living crap out of you with a strength 5 AP -1 hit with 2 damage. They're just going to saw you down. You know, if there's 6 of them in a freaking squad, you know, you're getting 36 attacks at 9 inches, and they don't care about being close because their toughness 6 is going to keep them standing. And then they still can fight in melee with their Ripper Gun, which, you know, they're going to still get 4 attacks. They're going to hit you on 3s. That's strength 6 with AP -1 damage. Freaking just absolute beef bust freaking squad here. They're just heavy hitting. You know, the biggest weakness they have is they have absolute dick for anti-tank. They're not going to do anything against vehicles at all. Period. At all. But their stat line's really good. Their weapon's really good. Yes, it's short range, but their weapon's murderous at short range. Then they have some solid abilities as well. Their core ability, Feel No Pain, is 6+, so even if you do throw a wound at them, you know, with your bolt gun or whatever, they still get a shot of just shrugging it off. And then they've got the horror story, Point Blank Barrage, which each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack that targets the closest eligible target, they get an increase their AP by 1. So it changes it from a heavy bolter into something even worse. Now it's an AP -2 instead of AP -1. So even Space Marines are going to look at these guys coming at them and kind of shit their pants a little bit. We're going to Ogryn Squad. I think they run at 70 points for 3, so 140 points for 6, maybe 75 points. It's somewhere in there. I think it may be 75 now that I think about it. But you're talking 150 points for 6 of these guys. They're going to be tough hosses to take down. You're going to have to hit them with an anvil to make sure that they go down, especially with that 3 wounds. You're going to have to hit them with something pretty big. They're an infantry Imperium grenades, so they do have grenades if you ever want to use that stratagem. Ogryn and Ogryn Squad. So one of the weaknesses that they have You can't really give them orders unless it's the Lord Solar. Lord Solar is the only one that can give them any orders, period. Which is probably good, because if you give these guys some orders like take aim or fix bayonets, they're absolute horror show for your opponent. So I can see why giving anybody else being able to give them orders is probably a bad thing. Also, you'd have to make them like a regimental unit, and being able to have them get resurrected with the reinforcements is probably a bad idea. So good thing they probably didn't do that, but it does kind of suck that you can't give them some of the other orders. You know, in previous editions, I'm sure that they would have benefited from the vat of order options that they had, where nowadays they don't have anywhere near as many. But let's take a look at the other screen here real quick. So yeah, they get an Ogryn Bonehead. It doesn't matter. Those guys, there's no statistical difference between the Bonehead and the regular Ogryn. So hopefully maybe when the Codex comes out, that'll change. They don't have any war gear options. They just come equipped with the Ripper gun. But what more do they need? You can throw them into a Chimera transport at a cost of 3 to 1. Chimera can carry 12 models, so you can put 4 of these jackasses in a Chimera and wheel them out. You know, wheel that thing across the board, have them hop out, blow up whoever the hell they're going to shoot for a shitload of ranged attacks, and then, you know, if they're still alive, you just hang in there another turn, and then they can get in melee or whatever. They can't charge, obviously, out of the vehicle, but they can jump out and shoot. You know, or if they just want to stay in the vehicle, you can have them pop out the top with the fire in deck 2 and still unload, you know, freaking 12 shots at somebody at 9 inches and just saw people down. So, Ogryn Squad, guys, they're freaking fantastic. I recommend them pretty much for any Astra Militarum army. They're definitely a tough shock troop type guy. And yeah, get them, put them out there. And until next time, folks, please like and subscribe here on Broncos Gaming World. And please follow me over on Twitter and Facebook, because that's where the rest of my content is. And until next time, folks, please take care of yourselves.
Boom goes the dynamite.